Sometimes I feel like I'm just existing. I'm not really living. I'm only watching the time slip away. I've forgotten who I am in you. I'm not who I'm meant to be, no. I'm drifting farther away from my destiny.
Welcome to Hearts of Purpose. I'm Gail Nordskog and my guest, Sharon Daly. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Gail.
Sharon has been here before, and if you missed our first show, I think you got a pretty good idea from that opening of what we are here for. We're here to talk about the Mossy Foot Project, and Sharon, whose heart and passion it is to help these people in Ethiopia. I would really like to get a real handle on this show about the project and what you're doing there. Mm-hmm. Can you give us a really good idea of what's going on?
Right, thank you. We are located in the southern part of Ethiopia, in the Walaita province. There are about 152,000 people in that province that are afflicted with mossy foot disease, also known as podoconiosis, a type of elephantiasis caused by the soil. So we have 15 clinics there. Now, they are actually clinic sites, and the government helps us by letting us go into where they have their government health clinics, and will let us use a room there where we store our materials. We can have our patients come there and meet. Now, about a year ago, we were treating somewhere around 2,500 people a month. And now we still have 15 clinics, but the number of patients we're seeing has about doubled. So that is a little bit of a challenge. We need more funding to treat the extra people. Our funding has increased, but it hasn't doubled. Along with the treatment of the people, they come in, they hear the gospel at the beginning of each clinic site. Besides treating the people and teaching them about the disease, the cause of the disease, how to care for their feet, we are also giving out little shoes to the children in the Mossyfoot families to help prevent their getting the disease. So that's really important.
Let's go back and talk about how these people get the disease in the first place. Why don't you share that?
Yeah. 90% of the people in the Wolaita province are farmers, and they are out in the soil tilling. When it rains, it's monsoon rains. The soil is clay-like. It's this thick, miry stuff. If you walk across it, you will sink down in it up to your calves. They live in a little hut that has a dirt floor. It has no windows. They have to walk 5 to 7 miles to carry water from the river to clean their feet. So it's very difficult for them to really care for themselves, and they're so poor that they haven't been able to afford shoes. So it's like, do we feed the children? Do we feed our families, or do we buy shoes? Well, of course, you eat because you want to survive. So these are the people that we are helping. They're really poor people. And then the people that get Mossyfoot disease are the very poorest of the poor. They're the outcasts in the society. They're the people that people are afraid of because of their disease. They're afraid it's contagious. So we're also doing teaching in the schools and in the communities to let people know what the cause of the disease is, so that more people won't get the disease and so that there won't be this stigma against them.
So if we were to make a list of what your project involves, you have the clinics.
Yes.
At these clinics, that's where you treat the disease.
Yes.
And also teach the people hygiene,
Right.
how to prevent the disease.
Right.
What else do you do at the clinics?
I think one thing that brings up in my mind is that the treatment is so elementary, so simple, yet very effective. We wash the feet very well. The people that are working there at the clinics, the health agents, take a little piece of cloth and actually saw between those flaps of skin that have grown on the feet to clean them well. And then after they've washed them very thoroughly with soap and water, we have them soak their feet in a diluted bleach solution for half an hour. And then we put on Whitfield ointment, which is an antifungal ointment. Teach them how to massage their legs to help with the lymphatic flow of the legs, and then wrap them. If they have edema, swelling of the legs and the feet, we wrap their feet with like an ACE-type bandage, and then have them elevate their feet at night. Also, we give them a shoe. We have shoemakers that are making these shoes. Now, our shoemakers are people that are Mossyfoot patients that have been treated and trained. And so it gives them an occupation, it gives them a living, and they are also helping the people in turn at the clinics. Now, this is not one of our largest shoes. Some of our shoes are actually cut. The soles are cut out of tire because we cannot find a sole that is big enough to make the shoes. You can see the tongue is deep because the people's feet swell, and they not only get wide, but they get deep. And so we have to have a tongue that opens way down low so that the person can fit their foot into the shoe. And some of the people that come into the clinic scale actually cannot fit into even our largest shoes.
Wow. And so this particular design, did your dad come up with the design of the shoe, or did you just out of necessity come up with something that worked?
Our first shoes were quite interesting because they were made actually they were all made out of tires, or some actually had like a wood sole, and they were very crude looking. But after a year or so, my dad decided that we needed to have people that were trained, and so we sent them to a Catholic school, vocational place, where they were teaching them how to make shoes. So then Israel came back and trained other people in shoemaking.
Okay. And I see you have them even for the little people.
Yes.
These are so precious.
These are shoes that we first bought in the local market. In 2005, we started our pilot project buying shoes for the children in the Mossyfoot families. We found out that they're 75% more likely to get the disease than other people, so we want to protect them. We wanted to see whether or not they would wear the shoes, whether they would save them for special occasions only, or whether they would take the shoes and sell them. So our healthcare agents documented the children that are in the families, and then we would have a shoe distribution day. They would come in, and it was only the children whose names were on that list that would get the shoes. We followed up and found out that there was about 80–85% compliance with the children wearing the shoes regularly.
Now, why did you pick this type? This is kind of crazy, but I would picture more of a sandal type of a shoe. Why did you picture, why did you get these closed shoes for the people instead?
We don't want the children to come into contact with the volcanic soil because that's where they get the disease.
Okay.
And also during the rainy season, their feet would just be covered with mud. So they have to have something that totally encloses the foot.
Okay, that makes sense to me. All right, what else does the project do? You have these clinics. You started out with 4, is that right?
Right, and now it's grown to 15.
Okay, and the government provides the buildings, is that what you said?
They let us use the site.
Okay.
They're very happy with what we're doing. That way they're cooperating. They're really helping us out that way.
Now, and who is your staff? Who are the medical technicians in these facilities? When you say we, I know you and Jim can't do everything.
Right,
so who is this?
Well, our Ethiopian staff basically are the people that are running the project. We have Ato Mascali, who's been with us from pretty near the beginning, who has done a really good job of helping grow the project from 4 clinics now to the 15. Also, we have the people that are working at the clinics. We have 1 healthcare agent and 1 gospel social agent who work there. They are people that have mossy foot disease that have been treated, they've been trained, they go back to their villages, and they in turn are helping other people there, and they're very dedicated, hard-working people. Actually, they really are overworked, but we don't have the funding yet to hire extra people to work there. So on the days that the people don't, we have clinic, everybody has a card. If there are patients that don't attend clinic, then the healthcare agent, the gospel agent, will walk 5, 7, 8 miles to their houses to visit them in between to find out why they didn't come to clinic. Also, they go and they treat people whose feet are so bad that they cannot walk to the clinic site. So we have that going on at the clinics. And then also we have young men and women that have been either in the soil, on their feet, and they should be removed from the soil because that is helping. They're just not getting well when they're on the feet in the soil all these hours. Some of them have been cast out by their families. They're out in the streets begging just to have some food to eat so they don't die. So we're taking the young men and women and bringing them into our headquarters. We have vocational training for around $200. They come in for a month, they have room and board, they have training, they get a kit. We have vocational training in hairdressing, barber work, bike repair, radio repair, and carpentry, and also we've done some with poultry training. So they get a kit, they go back to their villages and they set up their business, so they're no longer beggars. They can help out if they have a family, they can help with the support of their family, and they also come in on clinic days and help out at the clinic sites.